Hi, my name is Victoria Velasco, and I will be presenting my process book for the project we have created in image creation this semester. So, for my design philosophy, from a young age, I was drawn to visual communication, how color, form, and layout could express emotion and tell stories without words. What truly pulled me into design, though, was the idea that something beautiful could also be deeply functional. At the heart of my approach is optimism, the belief that design can bring clarity, inspire action, and create meaningful experiences. This value drives me to approach every project with curiosity and a commitment to make something impactful. One major influence on my perspective is designer Kel Lauren, whose bold, expressive work showed me that clarity and boldness aren't opposites, they're partners. One of my core design principles is visual storytelling. I believe strong imagery has the power to communicate complex ideas quickly and memorably. This principle reflects my belief that there's always a compelling way to connect with an audience if you're willing to dig deeper and find it. My time in marching band taught me that expression and discipline go hand in hand, and that the more time and energy I dedicate to refining my craft, the more powerful and confident my designs become. The philosophy comes to life in projects like my album cover design, which explores the road to heaven through bold, unexpected metaphors that steer away from cliche, or in my book jacket redesign, where I balance expressive visuals with strong clarity and structure to guide the viewer's eye with purpose. In all my work, I strive to create designs that are memorable, satisfying, and clear, ensuring every choice serves both story and function. With optimism and storytelling as my foundation, I'm excited to keep designing with intention and exploring what bold, thoughtful communication can make possible. So for my book cover redesign, the Phoenix Publishing House wanted a new modern twist on a classic, and so I chose to do the book Jane Eyre. And I really wanted to keep a minimalist design and convey my visual metaphor. So I redesigned the cover of Jane Eyre with the goal of capturing the novel's emotional intensity and central themes through a modern metaphor-driven approach. After research and exploration, I developed the visual metaphor of a house on fire to represent Jane's struggle with identity, control, and societal constraint. The use of red symbolizes the passion, drama, and inner turmoil that define her journey, aligning with Phoenix Publishing as contemporary and sophisticated brand aesthetic. So for my mood board and like my process, I was looking at different types of like other redesigned Jane Eyre covers and just very much like the time period, the typography during the time and just like different motifs that like mid-century Gothic and like all that can entail. And so through my mind map, I was looking through like the different types of visual metaphors I can go through, like going through the book's central themes and like what Jane struggles with, going through all the characters and what they represent until I settled on like the house on fire metaphor. And then so like for thumbnails, I was like looking through like layout and just like composition. And through my multiple iterations, I was really going through like how I was gonna make my content like pop and like hierarchy and also color. Like in my final design, I went with a really deeper red, which in previous designs I was going through like a really fiery red. So I was thinking like fire for the flames and everything, but I feel like the deep red really shows like the passion and drama of the book. So for my album design, the Grand Collective, which is a group here on campus, which is a group of students who make an album every year, they were making a new album called To the Throne. And so I created a visual concept centered on the metaphor of life as a journey toward God. The road symbolizes each individual's spiritual path, which surrounding darkness represents life lost in sin and distance from God. While the light ahead reflects the presence and promise of heaven, this concept captures the album's themes of redemption, faith, and worship, aligning with the brand's contemporary yet deeply spiritual style and designed to resonate with bold, longtime worship music fans and new listeners. So yeah, when sitting down with the music artists themselves, they made it really clear that they didn't want to like incorporate any like motifs or cliches like of the Christian faith, like crosses or depictions of Jesus or anything like that. So I really steered clear from that. And so going into my mood board, I really wanted to look at new like modern ways of art. And so I kind of wanted to settle on like doing a photography, like a Photoshop composite. I feel like that really brings in like the new and like modern age element. So yeah, going into my mind map, I was really looking and digging into the album's themes and just like kind of like the imagery behind all those themes. They also have a song like to the deer or like just like or just like the album name and title like the throne. Like I wanted to steer clear way of like imagery of those types of things. I feel like they would get a lot of those kinds of imagery. And so for my thumbnail and iterations, I was really playing. I like the composition stayed the same throughout it, but I was like trying to figure out which elements to include, which elements not to include, my kind of color palette, and what kind of like overall like vibe I wanted over my cover. And so I settled on doing this one, and it's like I think it really shows like the word you're leading to God, and it's just like you're shrouded in darkness, and there's like the bright light, and so that's also why I took away a lot of my elements, like the crystals and like the different colors inside of heaven, even though those are really beautiful. I feel like the simplicity of like the golden rays and stuff really symbolizes like the simplicity of like God's love. So for my creative type ad, we were assigned to pick a brand and to do like an unconventional like handmade type as our focal point. And so I went ahead and partnered with the Beach House, which is the laid back surfer inspired taco restaurant with a coastal carefree vibe to promote their house-made sauces. I crafted the phrase "Get Saucy" using their signature red salsa as a typography medium. The letters were formed by hand and photographed with tortilla chips placed in the corners to act as leading lines and frame the message. And I included a call to action which encourages the viewers to try all 7 sauces today. And overall, my design aligns with the brand's fun, flavorful personality while meeting the project's goal of using unconventional handmade type as a focal point. But yeah, so like going into like my mood board, I wanted to capture like their coastal vibe, like all their blues and greens that they already use in their branding. And then in my mind map, I was like playing around with like the different things I can advertise. When going through the menu, I noticed that they have like a whole section dedicated to their sauces, which I think is pretty unique to them. And so that's where I kind of wanted to go more into like my get saucy idea. And through the final and like my iterations, I was really trying to play with like the composition and like the best way to lay everything out to make sure everything flows well. And I think I did in the final a pretty good job with it. I had a hard time doing the logo placement, but I actually went there in person and found one of their stickers and used that instead of just like the regular white and green logo. And I think it really makes the logo pop. So for Bonnaroo, these next 3 projects are going to be on Bonnaroo because they approached us to make a new, like a rebrand for them. And so this first one goes over just like the process of the rebrand, while the other ones dive deeper into other aspects. So for my rebranding of Bonnaroo, I wanted to capture the festival's vibrant energy and sense of community. I created a new logo with 5 interconnected loops that form a star, representing the 5 counters in Bonnaroo. The bold color palette reflects the fun, lively atmosphere of the festival, while elements like the Ferris wheel, butterflies, and tents add to the playful and dynamic feel. The flowing lines suggest movement, embodying the ever-changing excitement of Bonnaroo and inviting people to experience the festival's inclusive spirit. So yeah, for this one, we're mainly focusing on like our logo, brand colors, and brand elements. And so I wanted to use a star and like use the counters, like I said before, in Bonnaroo, because that's what they're currently doing right now. They're focusing on all their O's. And I really wanted to capture that in the loops, trying to keep it more memorable to Bonnaroo. And so for my brand elements, I wanted to keep like my lines flowing and really dynamic. So I think you think music, you think like flowing and a lot of movements. I wanted to capture those within my still elements. And then for my colors, you can see like on one of my iterations, you can see the gradient that I've used to kind of wrap around this branding. And it's my primary gradient. I've also made a couple more, but this one kind of ties together our 4 main brand colors, which is like a pink, blue, purple, and like a lime green, which I feel like really makes Bonnaroo pop. So our next project is for Bonnaroo and their package design. So for the package design, I focus on creating a cohesive and recognizable experience across all the items. For the t-shirt, I drew inspiration from the dynamic brand elements and used them in a minimalist way, ensuring the design retains movement and energy while remaining easy to read. The wristband and box were designed with simplicity in mind, using the redesigned gradient and key brand elements like the Ferris wheel and butterflies. These elements help create a strong visual identity, making the package instantly recognizable while capturing the vibrant and fun spirit of Bonnaroo. So yeah, I was looking through my mood board, I was looking at other festivals or what Bonnaroo has done in the past or like different ways to package and just diving into like that world of packaging. And then for my thumbnails and stuff, I was focusing on my different products. So you see like my my first sketch for the t-shirt and for my wristband, and then like the top and side view of my box. So our last project is going to be focusing on Bonnaroo. They wanted us to make some GIFs or cinemagraphs for their Instagram stories. And so I did, so each has, for mine, they each has a unique focus. The first story builds anticipation and excitement for the festival, while the second injects humor to engage and entertain the audience. And the third story provides key information about pre-sale tickets with a clear call to action and drive purchases. Each story was crafted using previously successful content reimagined to fit the new rebrand and align with the updated visual identity. This cohesive approach ensures that the campaign not only resonates with the audience, but also effectively promotes the festival and encourages ticket sales. So yeah, I was looking before, like from my mood board, I was looking at what Bonnaroo is currently doing on their Instagram. And so I didn't want to like my new content to draw our already created fan base. And so I wanted to make sure this content that they could actually put out. So yeah, they use a lot of drone shots. And so that's what in the first one you see a lot of drone shots of like the festival, the full parking lot. And they also use a lot of humor and like memes and like funny things like that. So that's where I got the idea of doing a Mean Girls reference for that one. And then for our last one, they do a lot of motion graphics and stuff to include. So I wanted to do that with like the True Rue, Center Rue, stuff like that. But yeah, for mind maps, I was like trying to go branch off those different ideas. Like for funny, I was looking at the different memes. I was like maybe thinking Hannah Montana, Mean Girls. And then so those then the middle one is looking at my storyboards for I think those are like the last two. And then that one is one of my screen grabs for the True Rue one, just to show how I changed from thumbnail to digital. But yeah, so that is it. Thank you so much, Mr. Trask, for having me in your class. And I've had a lot of fun this semester. This class really challenged me in my final year to kind of go back and to reevaluate my process. But yeah, I've enjoyed your class very much, and I will definitely keep you updated on this job. I'm actually going to hear back within the next couple of days, so hopefully I get it. My interview went really well. But yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity to do it this way, to present this way. I really appreciate you being so accommodating. Thank you so much. I hope you have an awesome summer.